Hey everybody, welcome to 24 Slate. I'm Tim.
I'm Daniel G Garza.
Okay, there you go. So Danny's I met Danny on a tour that I was doing. I was an emergency tour guy, I guess. Replacement. I jumped in. So yeah, then I met Danny and we went to go eat because we weren't part of the crew out there that time. Right? Although they went to go eat, we didn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were one of many drivers on that particular
Well, nobody liked that
event.
tour. Nobody liked you guys.
Yeah, that tour. No, yeah, nobody liked us. And then, oddly enough, that was the only stop where we were in an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And not hotel rooms. And we were housemates for the weekend. So, yeah.
Nice. So, let everybody know a little bit about you.
Sure. So, hey everybody. So, again, my name is Daniel G Garza.
What up, G Garza?
Daniel G Garza, yeah.
Okay, so two G's.
Yeah. There's a lot of Daniel Garzas out there. There's a tennis player, there's a politician, there's a lot of people. So when I went professional with the union, with the actors union, there was already some Daniel Garzas, so I had to be Daniel G Garza, which has actually worked really well for me. It's put me aside from everybody. And I think it sounds more professional too. It's just more.
You think so?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. I don't know if it works, but I think so. And in the end, but so I just turned 53. I'm originally from Monterrey, Mexico. Grew up in Texas. Have been in California for coming on 15 years now. I do some acting, stand-up comedy. I produce, direct, and host live stream shows from my own company. I do health advocacy. I'm a coach, spiritual coach, and life coach. I'm an author.
Nice.
I created my own coaching program over the last couple of years, among other things, MC, promotions, etc. A lot of stuff. Yeah,
good. That's good.
Yeah,
you're like a Danny of all trades.
I'm a Danny. I'm going to use that. That's going to be on a T-shirt. Danny of all trades.
Yeah.
You know, I was through some health issues back in 2000. I was on disability for a long time, and finally in 2019, I went off disability, and it's that moment, that fork in the road. Do I want to go back and work a job where I'm stuck in an office because my background is in business? Do I go back to 9 to 5 corporate stuff? Do I go to serve tables? Like, what do I want to do? And it was really a moment of like, do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do whatever you want. I was about to turn 50, and it was like, ¿qué quieres hacer? What do you want to do? And I wanted to do everything.
You're working tables?
Yeah, so I was like, I'd already been to promotions for a long time. I was already in the acting field. I was already hosting my own shows. So we ended up registering our company, Little Mexican Productions, Inc., making it an official company. That way we could work for ourselves. And, I mean, I'm sure people listening and you understand this. Like, you either work on somebody else's dream or you work on yours. And you might have to eat ramen noodles for a week sometimes. But as Mexicano, rice and beans and tortillas, I'm good with that. But I just decided to go after my own thing. And then as a cancer survivor, after cancer, Christian, my boyfriend, was like, what do you want to do? Like, I almost died during cancer.
Yeah.
And God, the universe, life, they were like, we're giving you another chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, let's do this. Let's do whatever we want. So I decided to do whatever comes to my head. Anything that my gut feeling says, do it.
Like this.
Like this? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I was really happy that you called to invite me. So
yeah, we were supposed to do it a long time ago, but I waited for a little bit more so I can get my followers up, and now we're listening to 6 people, maybe 7 people instead of the 3.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get up to 10 after this.
Then you thought maybe you wanted to be the last podcast of the year, but you're not. You're gonna be the first podcast of the year because it comes out Tuesday.
Nice. I'd rather be the first.
Yeah,
than
you're
the
the
last.
first. Yeah, you're the first.
And this is technically my last interview of the year.
Yeah, same.
So yeah.
So last and the first.
Yes.
I like
Cool.
it. It works out great.
Cool. For somebody that I met one time because we got how's it? But we went to dinner last night. We went to dinner when we met, and that's kind of cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a good dinner.
That was a pretty cool place.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't think so, but at first we were like, that was pretty good. They had good food there. Yeah. So yeah, you had okay. So we kind of do like inspirational thing, like real people. So I don't know if you want to talk about it. You talked about it with me, but like like the AA thing and what happened, that whole thing.
So
Because that'll help that and people that may be going through it or went through it or are on it, they can like maybe help them out with what they.
sure. So part of my personal story, not my professional story, is I've lived now with HIV for 23 years, coming on 24. I was diagnosed with anal cancer in 2015, and I got clean and sober on June 21st, 2007.
Yeah.
So this year was 16 years. I did drugs for 16 years, and now I've been clean for 16 years. So 2023 for me was the balance year, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I finally was able to clear the palate.
Yeah.
16 years on drugs, 16 years off of drugs. So anything after this is a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you a little bit about how I got into being clean and sober, because people are like, "Oh my God, good for you!" Like,
Yeah.
"Que bueno," and I'm like, "No, I didn't choose it. The court chose it for me." And long story short, I got in trouble with my boss. I was accused of theft. It wasn't really theft, but there was a problem. So I had to go to court, and I was already on drugs, obviously. And so they put me on probation. They were like, "Look, there's still a charge against you. We have to clear that out. Once you do probation, then you're done." I was like, "Okay, cool." So for those of you that know, I had to go do a urine test every week to make sure that I was staying clean and sober and doing what I was supposed to do. Well, every week that I went was dirty because I was doing drugs. I got to the point, very cliche and very typical story. I lost friends, I lost my car, I lost my job, and I was about to lose my apartment. And I was the kind of addict that, because I lost my car, the taxi was waiting for me to take me to court to do the urine test while I was doing drugs in the bathroom of my house.
Yeah.
So literally right before going to do a test. I mean, that was, I think of now and it's like, it's the balance of how stupid are you? And I think subconsciously I wanted somebody to stop me. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I wanted somebody to be like, "Dude, what are you doing with your life?"
Yeah.
So my probation officer, she was like, "I don't know what to do with you. Like, you don't have any records. You don't have anything against you. It's just this. If you just stop doing drugs for for 3 months, you're done."
Yeah.
But it just didn't comprehend. So she passed me to her supervisor. He didn't know what to do with me. So the third or fourth week, they passed me to the lead probation officer. And
Yeah.
I think I get her name wrong, but as far as I remember, her name was Lana Park. And I still remember that because I'm like, she had the name of a superhero.
Yeah.
So she tells me like, "Hey, here's what we want to do. You have to go to court because we have to report. So the judge is going to ask you, what do you want to do? Go to jail for a year or go to rehab for 3 months?" And I thought about it. I actually thought, I was like, "Is this like Oz jail?"
Yeah.
Like on HBO? And she was like, "No, that you're not going to have a boyfriend. Chris Maloney is not going to be there waiting for you." And I was like, "Oh, shucks." And that's our time, folks.
Sorry, everybody.
And so we go to court, and it was a Tuesday that they asked me to go to court. And I showed up drunk, high off my ass. And I remember she looked at me like, "What the hell are you doing?" But in my head, I thought, well, if I don't show up high and drunk, how is she going to believe that I have a problem?
Yeah.
And again, for those of you that know, you know. So I show up on the docket. I'm the first one on the docket. So they call my name. I walk up. I must have smelled like a brewery. Like
But
she
you're
was really,
drunk and at 8 o'clock in the morning?
yes,
Okay.
it's like
Or 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm high on crack and I'm drunk. And the judge looks at me and she's like, Mr. Garza, tell me why I should send you to rehab. And I looked at her, I said, because if the thing was they were going to send me home and get everything prepared to show up on Thursday to see where I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
And I go, if you decide to send me to jail and I go home today, I'm not going to make it back on Thursday. There's like, I don't see a future for me. I go, but if you give me a chance to go to rehab and try to do something with my life. And she was like, okay, so they don't tell you what's going to happen. They send you home.
Yeah.
So my probation officer was like, go home, stay clean. I was like, yeah, sure. I went home, got high. Because what else do you do? I'm like, if these are going to be the last days, I'm gonna enjoy it. In fact, on Wednesday, before I had to turn myself in, I threw a party at the bar, telling them, I'll see you in 3 months. I'll be back. God damn it, we're back. So they call me Wednesday morning and say, get your stuff ready. You're going to rehab tomorrow. And that was the beginning, June 21st, 2007. I checked into Bay Area Recovery Center in Dickinson, Texas. I was living in Houston. And to this day, the best day of my life. It was summer camp. I'm not in touch with a lot of them still, but some of them I'm still connected to. Mm-hmm. Some of them have passed. Some of them just got lost. But it was summer camp. I made brothers. I tell people I learned how to throw a football, which is pretty awesome. I learned how to grill, which is pretty cool. That summer is the summer I became a man. And I will always be grateful to that judge for that.
That's good. That's pretty inspiring for a lot of people that need some help. And I'm glad that it worked out for you.
Yeah.
That's why when we first talked and you were telling me some of the stories, I was like, this guy needs to come on, and he's a good person. You're good people.
Don't tell that to everybody. I want to have a bad.
He's not good people. He's horrible. We're just making this up as we go along.
I want to have a bad reputation.
You do, but you left it.
I do. Yes,
it's the first part.
But yeah. So as far as the inspiration part, I still to today I don't believe that I'm inspirational. I believe that the story is the inspiration. Does that make sense?
But you did it.
I know.
The story is inspirational, but for you to go through it and do it, a lot of people don't believe these stars and other people that do the story. Like, they came from nothing, then they went, and then they're good. Like, you still struggle a little bit,
yeah,
no matter what, but you go through it, you make it better, but you keep pushing and pushing, and that's the difference. Now you're still trying to do something. You didn't all of a sudden stop. 3 months later, you're a millionaire.
No.
Everything came in the mail. You know what I mean? But see, you're still working at it, and still.
Yeah, it took a long time. It took several years. I'm gonna say it took about 4 years to start to clean up like the financial mess that I left behind, to make amends to some of the friendships. I still have friends from when I was using that are friends now, and I love them and I hate them sometimes because they keep me grounded. They remind me of remember when you were a mess?
Yeah.
Like, remember the shit that you did? I'm like, yeah, I remember. I also lost a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
There were people who were like, yeah, I'm glad that you're doing better. Forget about me. You're like, oh crap. Like, okay, cool. There are times I do my best to not sit in regret. I don't regret the things. I regret the things that I didn't do.
Yeah.
Because I was stuck in my addiction. Does that make sense? Like, there's a lot of things that I could have done with my life. Like, I didn't finish. I went to college in my 30s because I went to trade school when I was young.
Like last year.
Like last year, yes. Thank you. This is why you're my best friend now. And I was like, I wish I'd been ironic. I was going for my drug and alcohol counselor certification while I was in drugs and alcohol. I kept telling people, I'm like, I was doing research. That's like, but somehow the teachers wanted you to be in class, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I did all my specialty classes.
Yeah.
I had like a year to graduate. I wish I'd done that. There were a lot of people in my life, relationships, that really good guys. Like, well, just for anybody out there, I'm gay. So there were a lot of really good guys that came into my life and that really, really wanted the best for me and really, really liked spending time with me. And I would trade hanging out with them to get high by myself. And there was never, you know how you break up with people, sometimes you date for and you're still friends?
Yeah.
I never gave them the chance to be my friends. I just blocked them out of my life for drugs and alcohol. So some of them, oddly enough, have come back and connected. I mean, the magic of social media, people can Google you and find you. And if you Google me, you'll find a lot of stuff about me. And some have come back, and I've managed to jump on a call and go, hey, like, I apologize. Like, I did you wrong. And some of them knew that I was on drugs. Some of them were like, I didn't even know. Like, I just thought you didn't like me. I'm like, no, I did. I liked you. Like, I wanted a relationship. I just had a bigger relationship with drugs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So staying off of it, it's how hard is it just to stay off? I mean, you're doing good, but
Yeah. In the beginning, it was a little harder because I still lived in Houston. I knew where to go for drugs. I knew where the bars were. I knew who to look for. I still had phone numbers in my phone. So I got sober in 2007.
yeah.
And I moved out of Houston in 2009. So from August 7 to January of 2009,
Yeah.
that chunk was kind of difficult because people still look for you. People still want to hang out. People see you out at the grocery store in the neighborhood. They're like, hey, let's go grab a beer. And you're like, oh, sure. Or you go to dinner with somebody and they're like, would you like a drink? And you're like, I don't drink anymore. I'm sober. Leave me alone. But then I moved to California. And moving to California was one of the best things. I moved away from my family, friends. They tell you, people, places, and things. So I was like, okay, I need to do this. Now, the last time that I wanted to get high was August of 2020. My mom passed away, and she was living with my sister in South Texas. And for everybody, August of 2020, we're right in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
And it was like, do I go and potentially get sick and I have an immune system that's compromised? So, and we finally decided, like, no, like I can't go. Just for my own health, I can't go.
Yeah.
So that was hard because I got to see my mom's memorial and the funeral on Zoom, and I'm the baby, and my mom had Alzheimer's for 15 years.
Yeah.
So it was like really, really hard to not be there. And so when I was at my boyfriend's house, when I went home and cried it out and had my moments, all of a sudden I got this, like, I want to get high.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to get high. But then, you know, the world being what it is and the universe laughing at me, the universe like, where are you going to find crack in Laguna Beach?
Yeah.
And I'm like, true. It's like, you can't even leave your house right now to go. And I'm like, okay, that's true. And I'm like, who do you call? Like, what? How do you, like, DoorDash doesn't deliver crack. So, like, how are you going to pull that one? So that lasted like 2 hours of me sitting there crying and thinking about it. And then I actually did order tacos for dinner.
Same thing.
Yeah, you know, crack, tacos, whatever. I ordered tacos and they were delivered, and I sat there and had dinner by myself in my apartment and talked to my mom.
Okay.
And, it's not what it used to be. But you're talking about, we talked about this before when we met. Like a lot has to do with the spiritual side of it,
Yeah.
connecting to myself and like, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Yeah.
You know, does that make sense?
So how do you kind of stay in the present?
How do I stay in the present?
Yeah, because you know with that like that you're the past and you're trying to stay in the present and I guess trying to do you fight the past or just
No, no, no. You can't because
okay.
what happened happened. You can't erase what happened. You
Yeah.
can hide it, but there's always. I mean, I'm 53, so when I was in my 20s and 30s using drugs, there wasn't social media like there is today. And God bless that there are no pictures or videos of the mess that I did and the things that I wore, and the places that anyway. But that was me.
Yeah.
That was me. The art of negotiation, the ability to make things work my way, all that I learned doing drugs.
Yeah.
You will not believe, if you're listening to this, the things that you learn to do for drugs, the conversations you have and the negotiation process and the manipulation of it. So I just took all of that and I'm like, how can I use it for good? And I still use those tactics, but now to create good stuff in my life.
Yeah.
So that's one way that I keep in the today. Okay, how can I? Mornings start off with my shower, my prayers, my meditation, my connecting with today. I have my mantras that I wrote. I'm a workaholic. I work a lot. For me to take a day off, that's punishment.
Thank you.
A day without my laptop or my phone, like, why don't you just kill me? Like, what's wrong with you? So I love to work. If you saw my calendar, I like staying busy.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps me centered. But I also like to help people. I like volunteering. I like. It's gonna sound wrong, but please follow me till the end. Going to volunteer for events where it makes me realize how good I have it. It's like, shit, dude, like stop complaining. Like, what do you, mind you, I tell people and I tell my clients, give yourself 5 minutes to complain about something, but then move away from it, get away from it. And I do that. And connecting with friends. I mean, I have you on my radar. I send you a text every once in a while.
Yeah.
Just to check in. Get out of your own head. I have to get out of my head. Man, my head is a dark tunnel. It's yeah. It's a, you know those fun houses at carnivals with mirrors and glasses and glass walls and up and downs, and that's in my head every day. So I need to be careful. I need to be careful and navigate it. And sometimes I need to ask for help.
Yeah.
And when all people think I'm kidding, people really think I'm kidding, but it is so true. When all else fails, when nobody's there to talk to, when I can't fix the problem right there, I go in my kitchen and I make a taco. Whatever is in the fridge. If it's a hot dog taco, if it's eggs and salsa, whatever it is. But there is something about the process of fixing something and making that taco for me gets me out of my head. And it connects me to my mom. I think my mom is to blame for that one. Because every time I was like upset or sad, she's like, pues te hago un taco. And, can I make you a taco? And it would work. Because something about standing in the kitchen with her and talking up through it and finding a solution and then sitting down at the table and eating whatever she made was so like calming.
Yeah.
And doing that now for myself, it has almost the same effect. I miss talking to my mom, but it's almost that. But yeah, those are, I know there's a bunch of things, but pick what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't give up.
No. I when I was going through my cancer recovery, there was an emergency that I had to go to the hospital, and I was there for 8 days. And on the day that I got there, they brought me back 3 times, and And as a kid, I almost died twice. So this makes 5 times in my life.
You have 4 left.
I have 4 left. Yes,
Okay.
I told you what.
Okay.
Soy gato. I'm a cat. And okay, I'm not gonna cry. But uh, when I realized that 5 times in my life I could almost not be here,
Yeah.
and that God and the universe and life were giving me more chances, like you learn to appreciate the opportunities that come your way. You do whatever you can. Um, so after all this conversation, if yeah, my story is an inspiration to somebody to stay clean and sober, take care of their health, and or just be a better person, then dang yeah, I'll take that.
Yes, that's what I like. I think you are very inspirational.
Thank you.
That's why when I talked to you the first time, we talked about a couple of things we did, and I mean things you did, and then we're just like talking like you did. You read my, not my horoscope. You did
I
my,
did your
you
cards,
did the
yeah.
cards, and then you're a coach, so like you coaching. I think it was pretty cool listening to your coaching. So, um, how did you get into the coaching, and what do you do about
Sure.
coaching?
So I got my Reiki Master's certificate in 2016 after cancer. So
Hmm.
while I was grouping from cancer, I did my certification process. And then during the lockdown, I got my life coaching certificate. But every time I went to study somebody or their modalities, I was like, that's not what I want to do. I'm not just about hyping people up. I want to actually help you break down whatever's keeping you from reaching your goals. So I started developing, actually in about 6 years ago, I started developing a system of reading for people through my cards, but not just to read your fortune or tell you what's going to happen. Or it was more about, let's break down things that are holding you back. Okay. So then when I got my coaching certificate, I was like, how can I incorporate life skills or life coaching with spiritual coaching? And I found out that there's a thing called transpersonal coaching, which is the combination of, I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. So then I went and studied some of that, and I was like, everybody's doing the same thing, and I hate doing the same thing as everybody. And I was like, I need to develop my own thing. So my publisher, who published my book, who's going to publish my cards, passed away in 2021. But before then, his actual words were, stop bitching and create something. And I was like, oh, whatever, dude. Like, you can't just make cards.
Yeah.
And he would always tell me, like, well, how do you think people that created the cards that you use, how do you think they did it? And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So I developed my cards. Okay. And then I developed the program. And the idea, it's called the alignment. The alignment is identifying, acknowledging, and breaking down barriers that are holding you back from growing personally or professionally. So through an exercise, it's a workshop that we do. I help people break down that barrier. So people either buy a 1 day, 1 hour session, hour and a half, or they buy an 8 session program, which is every 2 weeks for an hour, and it lasts 4 months. But we work through like 7 levels of your personality, or if you're more spiritual, the 7 chakras. And we go level by level, breaking down what we believe is holding you back.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
So
that.
we did the 1 hour session that we do. I think we did a quickie with you because
Yeah.
we were gonna go to dinner or something.
Oh no, it was
Or we
late.
come back from
Yeah,
dinner.
we
We
did.
come back from dinner.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I've since you and I have talked, I've graduated 5 clients. So they've been through the whole 4 month program. So I'm looking for new clients now. But I went to 2 conferences, so I've done conferences now, presented to healthcare providers, because you can use this for burnout prevention too. So if you're in the healthcare profession and you're feeling burned out, but I've also talked to corporations. So I presented to some CEOs.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's doing pretty good. Like I'm enjoying it. And I enjoy it because it's not just It's pardon me. It's not just you're awesome, you're great, you're gonna be. You don't have to change it. And I was like, there's something blocking you.
Yeah.
So obviously there's something that doesn't belong. So let's find it and remove it. I don't send you home with a cheerleading squad in your head. I send you with a construction company, and they're going to help you rebuild you to be a better person. Does that make sense?
Yes. So much sense.
So,
No, makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But people enjoy it, and there's something really cool about working with folks is that I always learn something new about myself, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I was blocked there. So it works really cool. It's nice.
So where are you gonna move on to from there?
So
You know what? Hold on. I should have had Jordan here, my son, because he does cards too. He's worked, but he has actually. Where's he at? He's probably home too. Damn, I should have brought him over. Okay, but yeah, he does cards and he does readings, but he's not really serious about it. But he does it.
well,
Somebody told him how to do it. And,
Jordan, we're gonna have to meet up for tacos and I have them in the car.
Yeah.
I have both my decks in the car. What's next? So through some of the campaigns and jobs that I have, we're looking into traveling next year to some conferences. So for those of you that follow me on my own pages, you'll get an update on where I'll be during the year. There's also the project that you and I met on. I'm potentially going back. I do MC work for them, so I'll probably be MCing again. That's another 8 cities that I'll be on. So there's a lot of traveling coming up, and I just got requested. I submitted for another job that's also traveling, and that's another 7 cities. So I'm gonna be traveling a lot. Hopefully, I'll be traveling a lot next year, internationally. Hopefully, if that works out. More coaching. I have another workshop that I developed that I'll be promoting at some of the conferences. So I'll have 2 workshops under my belt. Growing Little Mexican Productions Inc.
oh yeah, your little Mexican
Yeah.
productions.
So we'll be plus my partner Christian, my boyfriend, who's my business partner and my life partner. He's doing his own spiritual coaching now too. So we're expanding. We're doing, and then still auditioning, and hopefully more. There'll be some comedy stuff coming up. So I do stand up too. So we'll see.
Comedy.
Yeah. So last year, I didn't do a lot of LA stuff, but I do a lot of conferences. Health conferences hire me. I basically get paid to make fun of sick people, so that's kind of cool. And I volunteer for some events here in LA. So if you're looking for a stand-up comic for your event, hit me up.
This guy. He's ready. He's funny. He's funny.
I'm funny-ish.
No, he's funny. He's really good.
Funny-ish. But one of the coolest things is going to health conferences, and sometimes you need to laugh when you're going through stuff. And I knew that. Here's a true story.
Wait a minute. There's a true story, so all the others aren't real?
All the rest of it lies. Up until now. Yeah, all the rest is lies. My name is really my true identity. So the first day of chemo, when we walked into the clinic, one of the coolest things, I know people are going to say that, one of the coolest things about having anal cancer is you get to make a lot of butt jokes,
Yeah.
and nobody can say anything about it. Because you're like, I literally put my butt on the line for this cancer. I'm going to make butt jokes. So we were making a lot of butt jokes and we were laughing. And the nurse that came in to set up the chemo was like, oh, cool, you guys are laughing. She's like, it's really good when couples laugh during treatment. She's like, if you make it to the end and you're still laughing, your relationship can make it through anything. And that stuck in our brains. We're like, okay, cool. So on the last day, okay, here's how funny my life is. My first day of treatment, when I was diagnosed, was May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. So I told people, I'm so Mexican, I was diagnosed on Cinco de Mayo. And my last day of chemo was 4th of July. So there you go. So then next 4th of July, when you see fireworks and you're putting a hot dog in your mouth, think about me. And think about me when you're invited into that dog. And so it just happened that year, 4th of July was on Saturday. And I don't know why we had to move our appointment. It was the same nurse who came to unplug me from the chemo. And we were still making jokes about 4th of July and hot dogs and bursting butts or whatever. And she was like, "Good, you're still laughing." She's like, "You guys are gonna make it." She goes, "You're on. No matter what comes into your life, you're gonna make it." And ever since then, I mean, Christian, my boyfriend, and I, we've had some big arguments. I mean, we've been together 11 years. You're gonna argue, but we always find a way to get through it and talk about it. And I really, really do believe that he was my caregiver. Having been my caregiver during cancer, really helped our relationship. Plus, he makes a good cup of coffee, so why break up with him now?
Yeah, you need coffee.
You need coffee. Hey, if you find somebody that makes good coffee and eats your salsa, and salsa's not code for anything. I meant there was salsa.
Oh man. Oh no. Okay. So, want to go back to the future?
Future, yes.
Because you want.
I know I took us back.
No, I'm fine with going back, but it was something to do with moving along. The true story.
Yeah. So, yeah. So we're expanding our. We have our 2 shows on the air. We have our Christian and Daniel show that airs Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. on social media.
We'll give you all the on the bottom. Put out stuff on there.
And then I do my show, which you're coming on my show next.
Nice.
And we're doing. And
do I have to talk?
That's good. Huh?
Do I have to talk?
No, we can just color all day. Yeah, we're just gonna get coloring books.
Okay.
And a camera. And so we do a show. I do a show called Put It Together, which is a like this conversational show, but we do live stream. So you'll see it on social media, and it's how people put their lives together or help other people put their lives together, and we share the stories. And I was intrigued by you when I met you. First, I want to say this truth before I go to the future thing. People told me like, just be careful because Tim is really grouchy. And I was like, he's grouchy. I'm like, great, put me in a house with a grouchy guy. And he was a little moody when I first met him. But I was like, I'm gonna break you down, Tim. We're gonna be buddies. and then we ended up sharing tacos. So that was cool. But so we want to add another show to our network. We're looking for a 3rd show. We are producing shows for companies and organizations. So if your company wants to do a feature, a series on what you do, we can come and help you with that. Our advocacy work, we're adding more caregiving advocacy because we believe that caregivers don't get they don't get the thank yous that they deserve, really.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get more information out about caregiving to caregivers.
Yeah.
And then we did a couple of episodes last year on house cleansings. So we went to 2 houses and did a cleanse. Christian, my boyfriend Christian is a medium and I'm an intuitive. So we went and did house cleansings, and we recorded them. So those are on YouTube. And so we're looking for more houses to cleanse this year. We want to do a series on house cleansing.
Like cleaning?
Yeah.
No, you didn't clean my house?
Spiritual cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have a maid's outfit, but that's extra. And so, but no, we go do sage a house, cleanse a house. We do readings for the family. So we don't just go and scare away spirits or figure out what's going on in your house, but we try to help the family connect and remove any barriers they have in their lives. So if you have a house and you think it's got spirits or bad energy, or give us a call. We'll come do it, and we wanted to record.
I don't think I have bad energy here.
No, your house is pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I would have bad energy, but
yeah.
When getting back to that part, I was thinking about it. Grouchy me. You know why the reason I was grouchy? we ended up there, right? Yeah. I was supposed to stay in another Airbnb because when we were in, started the 2 days after or a day after.
That's right.
So when I went to that first Airbnb, we got locked out.
That's right.
It was like there's a hallway that goes up in New York, and then they locked the bottom door, which they weren't supposed to. So we couldn't get an Airbnb. So we stood in well, we stood there trying to get a hold of him, and we slept in the car, in the street in Harlem,
Right.
in Harlem on the street. We
I
stood there.
remember that
Yeah,
now.
so we slept there that night, and then we went and did the show, and then I ended up going to our Airbnb.
But I have to say this, okay? We won't say brands or companies or anything,
Yeah.
but this particular event, I'm the MC of the event, so I'm making sure that people come into the space and have a good time and I'm entertaining. But I include the staff in my making fun of people. I love making fun of people, and I include everybody. You were really good. You were so good. Like I have fun with everybody, and I really love working with the folks. But you came in for that one weekend, and you were dishing out. Let me tell you about it. He's funny.
I gave away some answers.
Yes. Okay. So we're just a quick one. So I have the microphone, and I ask trivia questions about the product and about the city we're in, and they're supposed to go. The people playing are supposed to go ask the staff, and come back. But the idea, because anyway. But Tim would stand in wherever he was, he would just yell out the answers. But the funny thing is, people would hear you and they would think about it. It's like, is he lying? Like, is he giving the wrong answers? And I was like, so I started calling him Theo Tim, Uncle Tim. So I was like, Theo Tim, stop saying the answers. Anyway, but you were really fun to work with. I missed you when you weren't there the next week. So I was like, oh, bummer. Like, you were cool.
No, that one that you guys were on was hard. No, it wasn't hard there. Just there were some parts of it that were hard. Mine that I was on, I like it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how we connected, and that was
Yeah.
pretty cool. But yeah, so anyway, to finish up your answer question, more entertainment, more advocacy work, more coaching work. Hopefully, another book is in the works.
Book.
I want to write. I've already started. I want to write my memoir, which includes my addiction story. But I want to talk about my health issues, relationships, drugs. Coming out when I was 17. I want to talk about all that and the lessons that I learned from it. It's not just a tell-all book. It's like, look, I went through this, but this is what I learned, and it's made me the man that I am today. And dang it, I'm pretty proud of myself. So
Should be. It should be.
I want to help people, particularly Latinos and gay men. I want to help them break out of that shame that society sometimes puts on us. Culture, religion, social norms. They brought me up to be ashamed of being gay.
Yeah.
Or being Latino.
Well, when we were young, it was different.
Yeah. And I feel very fortunate that I broke through those barriers, and I want to show other people how to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
Like don't follow my story. That's my story. But what's your story? What are the characters? What's the plot in your story? Now write the ending for yourself. You can overachieve, but it's difficult. It's difficult sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were younger, it was just way different. But like there's a lot of people that where we work are kind of like a little weirded about things, but they were so comfortable, there was no problem. You know what I mean? You don't try. There's just certain things. How there's stuff today, it's a little different for them to feel comfortable, but the guys really, everybody feels comfortable. Like, like you don't really put it off. Like, you don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not you're not trying to put it on them, and then you're just you, and you being you is good. It's really it's cool to be around. Cool to be around you. Yeah, it is kind of cool to be around you, I guess.
Just say it.
Yeah, but it's fun.
I'm cool.
We have fun. Yeah, you're cool. You're cool. You're cool. Not as cool as maybe Izzy or Juan, but
I love me.
But yeah.
But thank you for saying that, because it's something that I worked on after sobriety.
Yeah.
If I hide who I am, all of me, if I hide anything because I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, what are you going to think? What are you going to say? That somehow gives you permission to use that, maybe not consciously, but to use that against me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you're embarrassed of it, and I mean, as Latinos, we're really good at calling out each other.
Yeah.
And I've never hidden my sexuality. I've never hidden my health conditions. I don't hide that I can be really tacky and uh, so politically incorrect at times. I don't hide, and if I like you and I consider you a friend, I will include you in it. I will tease you mercilessly, and we're in it together. Um, and I'm so grateful that like the campaign that you and I met on, they appreciate that. They're like, you don't hide anything. I'm like, why should I hide it?
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed of who I am. And then when I turned 50, my sister gave me one of the best advice. She's like, when you wake up on your 50th birthday, I won't use the languages that we use, but she'd be like,
It's all right.
the technical words are, you're not going to give a fuck.
Yeah.
Basically, you're not going to care what people think, what their opinion is. And it's not that you don't care about the people. It's like, I'm not concerned what your thought is about it. Like, if you don't like gay people, that's on you. You're missing out because we're pretty cool. If you don't want to talk about the health issues that I've been through because they're wrong, well, then you're missing out from learning some stuff.
Yes.
At 53, I have a lot to teach people. And anyway, but yeah, thank you. I feel really happy that the people that I work with, particularly younger
Yes.
heterosexual guys,
Yes.
Latinos who can be very machistas and like, oh, have always been very respectful. And I'm in on the joke. I'm not the joke.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's where it is. Because I told this to some of the guys before, because there was there were, like, there was another gay person that worked at the office, right? And he came in, I like talked to him. I'm like, dude, like, we gotta talk about this because at one point or another, I'm gonna offend you. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't really take it what I'm talking about, but we're gonna talk. I go, but if that's the case, we'll go talk to HR now. You know, and he's like, all right, like, so if you don't like me, he goes, well, I don't like you right now. I'm like, okay, then we're good, right? We're not gonna. So I talk, and then we were talking before, and some of the guys that are in the other departments. I mean, a lot of Latinos talk. They do a lot of gay jokes.
Yeah.
A lot of gay jokes. I don't know why.
And I love a good gay joke.
But I don't know why, but there's so many. And then when he came around, kind of, they'd cut it out. And so I told him, I go, dude, you're ruining this whole thing. We have some good jokes. Why don't you just talk to them more, get more, include yourself a little bit more to them. Then they can, I go, so that they don't feel you're threatened by the gay jokes.
Yeah.
Or are you going to turn them gay because they said a gay joke, and then I keep talking to them a little bit and they were more comfortable. But, I told the guys too, I go, don't alienate them because, just be yourself and everybody will be ourselves and we're good. If you don't be yourself and trying to like put him in a little certain box or nothing, don't worry about it. He's going to be fine. And
I think that, again, not to put myself in this level, but I do think it came with having come out at 17. And, there's that saying in Spanish, si lo sabe Dios, que lo sepa el mundo. If God knows, let the world know.
Yeah.
When I came out at 17 and I knew, like, okay, this is me. My parents knew, family knew. Those that wanted to stick around, stuck around. Those that didn't. As I got older, I learned to not fear the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I used to hang around with my dad and his friends, and the friends that didn't know that I was gay would say gay jokes, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny. Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's one that you're like, orale, like, that's a little stingy.
Yeah.
But then again, I have some pretty good white people jokes, and I have some good straight people jokes. I think the moment that you remove yourself from the shame of whatever it is,
yes,
you can appreciate the humor in life. It's part of life.
And I think that's a big problem with life now. Everybody's offended by, and then they don't want to offend nobody because they're putting too much on it. Just if you live your life and have fun, whatever. Like, don't take it personal. Don't take all these things personal because regardless of what you see this person do, not you, but most people in front of you, they're not that same way over here. They kind of politically correct here, and then over here they're a little different for this person. Like whatever I'm doing, this is me. I'm not going to change. There's no reason for it. It's too hard to pick these people out and be this person, this person, this person in front of those people. I'd rather just be me. And if you don't like it,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you know?
Because
I mean,
why?
you could see me here. We just talk, and the way I'm talking here and the what I do here is the same as I go out. Me and my son, we just like me and Jordan, we have fun. We just do stupid stuff, and we just, I mean, we're happy, and that's what you want to do is be happy. And you're just happy. You do things. You're out there just having fun, you know, at what you do, and you could see it. So that's when I seen you doing the MC thing. I seen you when we went and talked. It was just so you're just cool. You know, you made like jokes about something else about I forgot what it was, but you're like, what do you call yourself? Call yourself? Oh my God, you said something. It was funny because I was laughing. You were something about when you guys went to the pizza place in New York. You went and had pizza,
Yes.
and then you guys went pizza, and you were out there, and when you went to order the pizza, you ordered it wrong.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I'll
Yeah.
remember the story in just a minute. But
And you
yes.
called yourself some queen or some word you said. It was funny. Like these two, like we're not, because you said it like we're not like all macho or whatever. And we would ask somebody and they knew that we weren't whatever. And these two, I forgot, it was so funny. I was laughing. But
For those of you listening, my brain has no filter sometimes, and things come out, and then I'm like, I do sometimes lay down in bed at the end of the night. I'm like, where did all this crap come from? Like, how messed up. That's just 16 years of drugs and alcohol, folks. Let me just tell you.
yeah, but you know what I mean? The story you told me, the way you said it, it was so funny. And I was like, it was funny. You know, you didn't know how to order pizza in New York. And you tried to put stuff
Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you didn't know how to order pizza.
Okay, so the quick story here is really quick. Okay. So I love New York. I love New York. It's one of my favorite cities to be in. So the first time that my partner, that Christian and I go to New York, and we were staying in Midtown, and we're walking out, and there was the same door guy that's there all the time. He was there all the time. And he had one of those New York accents, like, what are you guys doing? Where you going? What you want? And we walk out, and it's like midnight. It's like, where y'all going? And we're like, we want a slice, we want a pizza. Where do we go? We're all so excited. Like two queens in New York just wanting some pizza in the midnight. And I thought it was like Sex and the City. And so he's like, go down the street, but not the first place. Go to the second place and turn right. And if you see a bunch of people outside and a homeless dude, that's the place. And we're like, okay, let's go. And that's not the way we talk, but that's the way I talk in the story. And so we walk over, and surely enough, we get to the place that it is. And there's a line. And mind you, it's midnight. So a lot of the restaurants have closed up for the night. So it's restaurant people grabbing a slice, because we call them slice now. And we're grabbing a couple of slices of Coke and heading for the train. The subway, for those of you that don't know. And so they're going to the subway to go home.
Yeah.
So that's where we wanted to go. And so we walk up, and everybody's just like, 2 slices and a Coke, 2 slices and a Coke. And we're like, okay, excellent. And then it's our turn, and we're like, what toppings do you have? And the guy looks at us like, where the fuck are y'all from? And we're like, he's like, what? And we're like, can you put like pepperoni on it? And everybody behind us is like, the hell? The guy right behind us, he goes, are you from California? We're like, yes. And then we thought about it, like, that wasn't a compliment. Because we quickly realized that it was like 2 cheese feet slices and a Coke, and just grab it and go.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the term that I used for it, but we went back the next day, and they looked at us like, oh, here's these queens again. And we're like, 2 slices and a Coke. And they just look at him like, oh, no, just like that. We're just thinking like that. It's like, so we're so embarrassed anyway. But I know there's more to the story. I can't remember the term that I used. Sorry, folks, the story's not going to be complete. But yes, so that was our big adventure in New York.
Well, it was funny because when you said the story, you were talking about it. I remember like Seinfeld. No, the soup Nazi. The soup
Yes!
Nazi. The soup Nazi. And I'm like,
No pizza for you.
it was like perfect the way you guys went over there and you trying to find it. And then after you come back, you're like, and then you walk.
2 little California queens trying to order their slice.
Yeah, first you're like Elaine trying to, what is, oh man, this one. And they're trying to look at it. And he's like, nope. Yeah, 3 things.
And they are. I mean, I love New York, but they looked at us like they were like about to beat us up. Like, even the homeless guy was like, yeah, losers.
There's only certain things. After a certain time, there's only cheese pizzas. There's no more.
Now I know. If I ever want a slice and a Coke in the middle of the night, take it as they give it to you. Like, hey, that's the story of my life. You'll take it. No meat. Just take the cheese.
Yeah, that was the best one. Yeah, you had a couple of cool stories, but that one was the funniest one. I was thinking, man, these guys.
It's part of the. I mean,
Didn't you go by the first one? Like you said something about when you went by the first one, there wasn't nobody there, and you're like, oh, this is the one, and then you kept going.
Yeah, no, because there was nobody standing in the line. I was like, no, this isn't the good one. Let's go to the one with the long line. But people look at you mean because they were like, these California queens, they don't know how to order slices. So anyway, but you know, life is full of just fun moments if you find them. I talk about the balance a lot in my coaching, the balance of life, and the balance of life is not when everything's going great. The balance is when you accept that there is beginnings and endings, life and death, white and black. And if you can stand and go, this morning started off really crappy, but by the end of the night, everything turned out the way it was supposed to. And you can stand in that balance, you'll find the funny. And then I love telling stories. I mean, I think you know by now, like I'm long-winded, but
it's a good thing.
Yeah, for shows this is a good thing. In regular life, people are like, "Ya cállate!" Like, what the fuck? He's gonna tell another story, folks. Sit down, grab some coffee. I'm very blessed that I learned even before I was practicing any kind of coaching. I'm very blessed that I learned early in life that we go through tunnels. We don't go through caves. There's always an exit. There's always a way out. There's always going to be people cheer you on to get out of the tunnel, but there's also going to be people who want you to stay in the darkness with them. And even with all the health scares and the near deaths and the drugs and alcohol, my life is pretty blessed and balanced, man. I'm grateful. Like, I know we use that word a lot. Like, I'm so grateful for today, and we want to be a Hallmark card walking. But am I grateful for everything that's happened in my life? No, there's some shit that I wish wouldn't have happened. But I'm grateful for the outcome. I'm grateful that I'm here today, 53, sitting with you on New Year's Eve, chatting. I mean, you're my last interview of the year. From here, I'll go to the grocery store, buy dinner, and go hang out with my boyfriend.
Make tacos.
Make tacos, probably, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna grab some tacos on the way home for sure. But
there's a good place if it's open right down the street. I'll tell you about it.
Sounds like
maybe we'll go get something.
Let's go get some tacos. Yeah. Where we go? My last tacos of the year.
Oh,
yes.
No, you can't because you're gonna have some after.
No, but then I'll go get something else.
Oh.
But we're lazy queens. We're not the fun go out queers. Let's go have fun tonight. No, we actually watched the ball drop at 9 p.m. from the East Coast. So in case we fall asleep, we already watched some balls drop. I know, pun intended. But life is good, man. Life is good. I mean, we're sitting here chit-chatting and enjoying life.
Yes, for sure. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to enjoy life while we're in here. I mean, we're both old, so I'm old.
How dare you?
I'm old. I forgot you're like 30. I'm old.
Yes.
I'm real old.
See, this is why we're best friends now.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to get younger. I'm trying to get younger here. You know, young man's game. Yeah.
You know, I used to believe that. I used to believe that you had to be young and to take over, but we have experience. We have wisdom. The gray hairs mean something. I don't know if you can see for those of you if you see this video, but you probably can't see the gray hairs coming out. But there's some gray hairs up in there, and I mean, we're here, dude.
Yeah,
we're here.
Yeah, well, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to.
I mean,
that's what I created this for, so we can have fun and talk, and
yeah.
I don't have to leave.
And
until I get my building, then I'll be in the building.
In the building.
In the building.
His empire. You're so strong.
Where's yours at? Your podcast, or your TV show? What do you have? What is it?
So we do live stream shows.
Oh, live stream.
Yeah. So we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and hopefully next year we'll be on Instagram too. We're dropping some channels that we don't use as much. So we're moving to Instagram. So you can find us on 4. Plus, I have my new series that, yes, I know, wake you up. He was falling asleep, folks, old people. And so the new series about Daniel's days, it's one national day a day. So I'll be doing those videos. For those of you who are watching this, if you follow me now, I have the 1 day video for whatever we're celebrating that day. And I talk about it in a 1 minute video. But this is going to be a regular series for next year. So the goal is to do 365 videos next year, one for each day, to talk about a national holiday. Hopefully wearing a different t-shirt, because I have a t-shirt collection. I have about 380 t-shirts. So
somebody's not making the cut.
Some of the shirts are not making the cut. Yeah. So I have to choose which ones are not. So I think I have double some of them.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
I'm stealing his idea, but go ahead.
Yes, but you heard it here first. But these white men always want to take from the Mexicans.
Damn, is that what I am? Is that what I am?
That's what you are. Okay. I don't know. We talked about this. You're not full white, right? You have color in you.
I hardly have any. I hardly have any white in me.
You have a little color in you.
I'm not white. I'm half Mexican.
But if you saw him in person, you're white.
Really?
Yes. Por favor.
I'm half black, half Mexican, but like later down the road, let me say like great grandfather, he's white.
He's white.
Yeah,
so there is some white.
He owned my grandfather. So yeah, that's what happened. That is
not funny.
I mean,
but the way
it's reality. It's reality. And what are you gonna do? Like, be sad? I'm not gonna get anything for it. They're not gonna give me reparations. So
if you've never met Tim in person, you see him and you're like, he's like white truck driver.
I'm not a truck driver.
Bubba.
I'm not a truck driver.
Bubba.
I'm not a truck driver. I drive a truck. There's difference. There's totally difference. There's truck drivers.
I said you look like you would be.
Oh, I look
white.
like it?
Yeah, you'd be a white. White truck driver.
I look like I'd be that. This is the look.
Banjos play every time you walk in the room.
Okay.
If you know the banjos reference,
okay.
If you get it, you know. You know.
Okay. We'll see. I see.
But anyway, but you're cool. Thank you for this.
Yeah, we're trying. We're just being me. We're out here doing our thing, and then just had to get you in. I seriously I wanted to get you in from a long time because we talked, and you're an interesting person in multiple ways. But yeah, it's just for the viewers too. They can like it, and then we can do some collabs. Yeah, I'll come on your show and do something else. And then maybe we could do another show with Jordan.
Yeah.
And then that'll be good for just different things. And yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, so thanks for coming.
My pleasure, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was good. And we'll get together and do another one really soon. And everybody, I'll put all his information on the bottom, on the captions down here. I think it's right here somewhere.
If you don't know where the bottom is.
Yeah, the bottom. Because it depends on where you're at the bottom. Like if you're looking at it, it's different. You may be laying down, so the bottom's over there. Okay. So yeah, just look for
who's the daddy?
Who's that? I don't know. Who is? Okay. So yeah, look for him on all social media. Like and subscribe. Okay. We're gonna do some collabs. Okay. Tim, 24 Slayton.
Daniel G Garza.
That is. See, has to be that has to go just like that. Daniel G Garza. For all you white people, Daniel G Garza.
If you can't find the G, it's not me.
See, there you go. All right, another Dannyism. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. We're out.
Thank you.